Everyone has a cell phone nowadays, so if you're communicating with anyone, you're going to have to deal with texting at some point. And if you're dating, well, then you know that texting can be a source of worry or fear or confusion. Am I texting too much? Am I texting too little? Am I screwing things up? Well, relax, don't worry. In this video, I'm going to tell you the 3 things that you can be texting a man to develop and build a deep, intimate, loving connection. My name is Jason Silver. I'm the dating coach for ambitious women. In this channel, I teach attraction strategies and how to build a lifelong, committed, healthy relationship with high-quality men. Now, I've interviewed thousands of men and women, and I've asked them this question: what are you looking for? What does love really mean to you? And ultimately, what almost everyone really wants is connection, a deeper connection. And if we boil that down even further, it's an intimate connection, a deep, intimate connection. They're showing their deeper selves to someone and they're feeling accepted. They're not only feeling accepted, but they're feeling loved. Now, this is kind of a foundation in understanding men and in understanding how to build intimacy. Almost any advice out there or anything that you've heard about building connections really boil down to this philosophy. And understanding this will also help you to avoid false intimacy or false connection. The belief that you are connecting with someone when in actuality they are completely in another place, and you only find that out when it's too late, when either you get ghosted or dumped or they cheat on you. So this foundational philosophy is really key, and that is that a person's actions will reveal more than their words, but a person's motives will reveal more than their actions. This is really important, to understand not just the what, but to go deeper and to understand the why of someone is one of the best ways to truly understand them and build that intimacy. So based on that philosophy, let's dive into text messaging to understand how we can build and create that understanding on a man's real motives. So the first text message is, "Give me a call later tonight. I'll be home by 8 p.m. Now, this is absolutely essential. In order for a man to truly fall in love, he has to value you. He has to be deeply attracted to you. This is the foundation. The foundation is that initial attraction. And in order to build that attraction and build that valuing, we need to be a person of value. That's important. We need to value ourselves and value our own time. And if you're someone who is willing to build a connection, a fake connection with someone via text messaging, or go back and forth and text a bunch earlier on, it basically shows 2 things. Number 1, it shows that you really don't value your time. Maybe you don't have a lot going on. And number 2, he doesn't really value you, because texting takes such a low level of investment. You can do it on the toilet. You can do it when you're waiting in line at the grocery store. You can even do it when you're having a phone call with someone. You can have it on speakerphone while you're texting other people. It doesn't really give the man the red velvet rope which you need to put in front of yourself to show him that I'm someone of value, and if you want to go beyond the red velvet rope and truly get to know me, well, then there needs to be some level of investment. And this isn't about playing games. This is about you protecting yourself, your time, and your energy, because those things are valuable. Because I have no doubt there's people in your life who could really benefit from your time and energy and attention, including yourself. And if you're going to spend time and invest in someone else, well, then they have to show that they're also investing. So by putting that red velvet rope in front of you, you're basically saying, I appreciate that we're texting, but give me a call later tonight. Let's hop on a phone call. And then you're saying, you're giving him a particular time. You're saying 8 p.m. Now, that's arbitrary. It could be whenever you're available. But by giving him a time, you're letting him know this is a time period that I actually have availability, because I have important things scheduled into my life, because I've got a great life. And if you're faking it, and if you don't really have things going on, well, this is a great opportunity to take an inventory and say, why do I not have anything going on? Why am I always available? I encourage you to fill your life with activities that fulfill you, that give you self-confidence, and that ultimately make you more attractive to higher quality men. So the first text message is really in response to him wanting to text back and forth, and you saying, let's move it to a phone conversation. You want to avoid staying in a text message conversation. Move it to a phone call as quickly as possible. And that brings me to text message number 2. I'd love to see you again. What this is doing is basically, this is the next step. This isn't just let's hop on a phone call, but maybe you've gone on a date or 2. Maybe he's not being as communicative. His only level of investment is maybe through some phone calls or through some text messages. And you're now saying, look, I'd like to get to know you in person. I'm being vulnerable. I'm allowing myself to open up to that intimate connection by being vulnerable, because the direct pathway to connection and intimacy is through vulnerability. So by you putting that step forward and saying, I'm just being honest, I would like to spend some time with you, you're opening yourself up to that connection, but it has to be reciprocated. He has to take that step in return and say, okay, let's meet up, or I want to meet up too, and let's take actions to do that. Because if you're just going back and forth and getting in long phone conversations, quite frankly, that's another form of fake connection, because you don't really know who someone is until you spend time with them in person. First of all, there's so much that can be miscommunicated via text or phone because we don't really see the other person. And so much of our communication is through body language and expression. So if we're not able to see the other person, we can totally take what they're saying and turn it into a different meaning. And also, anyone can play a character over the phone or via text message. Until you spend more time with them, see them in different situations, and this is really key, see them and experience them in front of other people, in front of their social circle, their friends, their family, the people around them, they can pretend to be anyone. That's why it's a huge red flag if you've been seeing someone and haven't met any of their friends. They might tell you, oh, I told my mom all about you, I told my friends all about you, but until you meet someone, it's just not that concrete. And that's why this text message, letting them know that you want to spend more time with them in person, is actually the way to their heart. It's actually the way to build intimacy and to develop that loving connection. And if you're afraid to be vulnerable and to tell someone that you want to spend more time with them, if you're afraid that you're being too aggressive and that he should be the one chasing you, it's not a bad thing to be polarizing. If a man is turned off by the fact that you want to see him again, that he's not willing to follow up with you, if that's all it takes for him to stop pursuing you is that you tell him that you want to keep seeing him, well, then that's probably not the best fit for a lifelong relationship. You probably don't want to end up with a man who would be turned off by you telling him that you'd like to spend time with him. In fact, any man who would be a good fit for you, who has a high self-esteem, would be excited that you want to spend more time with them. So I encourage you to be polarizing, and if he does come back and that somehow kills the deal and he doesn't want to ever see you again, well, that's a good thing, because you just saved yourself a whole lot of time and energy on someone that ultimately would not have been a good fit. You want the wrong men out of your life sooner than later, and you want to spend more time focusing on the men who would be a good fit. Now, I didn't want to give you a templated text message for the third because it's so authentic, but it can be so simple. And all it is inserting any genuine compliment and letting him know that you appreciate him. Now there's a caveat here. It shouldn't be something physical or something that he was born with, saying, oh, I really love your family home. Like, listen, that's a nice compliment, but the type of genuine compliment I'm talking about complements either his character traits or values, saying, wow, I really appreciated how much of a gentleman you were. I really appreciated how much you smiled. I love your smile. It's really great to be around you. You have an infectious energy. Or I love how you treated that person. Or I appreciate that you did this. Or the way that you spoke here, or the thing that you said really inspired me. Taking a character trait or a value that someone has and complimenting them makes a deposit into their emotional bank accounts, because all of our actions and interactions with people either withdraw or deposit into their emotional bank account. And Dr. John Gottman actually did a study of the happiest, healthiest relationships and found that the healthiest relationships had a magic relationship ratio of 5-to-1. 5 positive interactions to 1 negative interaction. So it's important, especially earlier on in the relationship where there's uncertainty, to give more and more emotional deposits into your partner's bank account, and letting them know that you appreciate them is a verbal affirmation of love. Now, I want to warn you on this. If you're trying to use this as a manipulative tool to make a man love you, if you're only complimenting him to trigger a response in him, then it's not going to give you the type of reaction that you're really looking for. If you're on this channel, you're looking for a lifelong committed relationship that's an authentic, genuine connection. And that only comes through authenticity. So if you're sharing any form of gratitude, it has to be something that you really truly believe in, and he has to deserve it. Because if he's not reciprocating, and if you're trying to somehow spark his desire for you by complimenting him, it's going to turn him off. Because you're essentially saying, you're not treating me with the value and the respect that I deserve, so I'm going to go ahead and compliment you and make more deposits into your emotional bank account. Absolutely not. We train people how to treat us. And if he's not reciprocating, and if he's not giving you the love, the affection, the attention that you desire, then it's important to do the opposite. Not to compliment him, not to validate him, but to pull away from him. Why? As a trick, as a gimmick? No. You should be pulling away from him because that shouldn't be attractive to you. It shouldn't be attractive when a man doesn't treat you the way that you need to be treated, the way that you deserve to be treated. It should be repulsive. If you're just started dating someone during a time when a man should be on his best behavior and he's not treating you with the love and value that you deserve, well, that should be a total turnoff, and I would recommend pulling away from him at that point. Why invest the time and energy trying to change someone that's not treating you in the way that you deserve? But if he does deserve it, if he is treating you with the type of love and respect that you want in a relationship, then it's such a nice thing to shoot a little small text message over and say a genuine compliment, just to let him know that you're thinking about him, just to let him know that, that you appreciate him. Because it's a real easy way to make an emotional deposit and to develop that strong, loving, intimate connection. I can't dive really deep into this topic in just this video alone, so if you want to go a little bit deeper and learn how to develop more powerful attraction with higher quality men, you can get access to my free training in the link below this video. It's in the description of this video. Just click it and sign up and you get instant access today. So if you're using those text messages as a tool to find time to genuinely connect with someone in person, and using that text message to let the right men know that you care about them and to make those emotional deposits, then texting can actually be a very powerful way for you to build and develop a powerful love with a man. And if you found anything valuable in this video, please hit the like button. It's really helpful for me. And if you haven't already, become a subscriber. I come out with new videos every single week. You can also click one of the video links that just popped up and watch a whole playlist on how to attract higher quality men. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.